This is Rooted Cosmic Soul, Season 2 of Broom Closet Recordings, Healing the Patriarchy-Within, and the here and the there, offering rememberings in times of chaos, confusion, love, and belonging. I am Deidre, your sometimes reluctant but always growing guide. In this season, I'll be sharing channeled and conjured episodes related to healing the patriarchy within. There's a link in the description to the digital book titled the same. If you haven't already, please subscribe and like. This will help me grow the channel and therefore grow my ability to continue these offerings with dedicated focus. I deeply appreciate you being here.
Hey, y'all. So I've had something on my mind as of late, and it took me a couple of days to figure out how to talk about it. And I sat in meditation this morning and really asked my higher self and my guides to help me. And this is where I've landed. It's tough because I'm trying to keep these under 20 minutes. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to talk about maiden mother crone in relationship, connecting it to the healing the patriarchy within journey. I also was asked to sort of shuffle some oracle cards while I talk to you and pull them as I talk, kind of see who wants to show up. So I'll do that at the end. Let me state at the onset, there's no medical or psychological advice being given here at all. These are ponderings. I've been thinking about my own experience in terms of the shifts I've noticed or the things that were attempting to be given to me from the sacred feminine around 3 different phases in the life of a cis woman or someone who was assigned female at birth may also experience this stuff. I'm just going to talk about this idea of when it comes to the maiden phase of life. I'm thinking about first blood moon in the scientific world, or I don't know, bio world. It's called menarche. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I don't always pronounce words correctly, but I've learned to get over it. You'll get it when you get it. I call it first blood moon. It's the first time you bleed. It's, most people call it their period. When I was in my undergrad, I attempted to do a first master's. I went through took all the classes, pretty much got straight A's, minus a C in like statistics or something. But when it got to writing my thesis, my choice was not very supported by the women with power in the department I was in. I was doing a women's studies master's. And the women with less power in the department were fully supportive. I had some really great women, but also they had their own stuff going on, which affected their ability to really support me. I was pretty young and just didn't know how to use my voice and push it. But my thesis topic was connecting the experience of a girl's first blood moon, like how their family ritualized it in a positive way versus not, or ignoring it, or embedding in them that it was a negative experience. And if that then correlated to their relationship to their body and their sexuality further down the line. I was using short stories and fiction books written by women, particularly women of color. I think it's actually specifically all the writers I found were women of color, to make this thesis. And it was amazing. I really loved the stories, and it was pretty phenomenal. Now, in the process of realizing now, looking back on it, I was downloading all this information about it. In the world of my academic setting, it was really difficult. It was a really difficult program. I got very little support from the department chair and head. She was very anti-American Black woman. She was a woman of color, international woman of color. She literally said to me once, "I don't understand why you're leaning so much into Black women. In America, if Black women in America was so smart, they wouldn't be in the plight that they're in And I was like 24. I was so stunned. I didn't really know what to say to that. I just internalized it. So I say all that to say I don't necessarily have a written thesis that folks could read about this, but I would say in terms of healing the patriarchy within, to start thinking about the connection between thoughts, definitions, and behaviors, is to some of the healing comes from like for you to just look inward of like if you are a cis woman or a person who still who is bleeding, used to bleed, and you can think about your experiences of that first blood moon. What was it like? How was it engaged by your community or not engaged by your community? And the connections that then, the definitions, the beliefs, and then the behaviors that then embedded in you, in your relationship to your body and your sexuality. And I think a lot of information can be gleaned from that. It can, if it was really traumatic, remember I always say like discern where you want to go in this healing journey. Discern whether or not you want this to be part of your journey. If you want someone to be walking it with you, then do that, right? Because I think when we go back, if it was either it could have been really a traumatic experience or even one that was ignored, can bring up some stuff, and you might want to make sure that you're able to move through that in the most healthy, positive way for you. I do believe that first blood moon, it could be a really beautiful experience. I know that more mothers are making sure to ritualize it, in the West, to ritualize it these days than when I was, 14. In the mother stage of life, I want to talk a little bit about fibroids. I had a myomectomy. I had fibroids removed because they were creating extremely painful blood moons, extremely painful. For a few years, I was, trying to take medicines around it, pharmaceuticals, plant medicines to help it. And sometimes it did. And it just finally got to a point where I went into the medical industrial complex and had it looked at. I was really lucky, that I had an amazing team, doctors of color, all women. So I had an amazing experience in that. And also, I did a lot of research. At the time, there was a lot of research coming in as to why it looked like Black women were having issues with fibroids more than other women in the United States. I don't know if that's still the case. I'm hearing all kinds of stories from all kinds of women who look different around the issue of fibroids. And I wonder, like, since that is located in our wombs, in the area of the sacral chakra, and how the patriarchy, part of the patriarchy is to silence us, is to make us believe we are less than, we are not creative, we don't really have anything to offer the construct unless it is defined by the construct, which is misogynistic and believes in femicide. I wonder what that would then do to the body. I know that after I had my myomectomy, I saw a lot of different things, but the thing that was like really amazing was somatic massage. And the massage therapist that I had convinced me to start talking to my body, just sweetly, in this really loving way, and touching my abdomen, like all the places where they had gone in to remove. And I had some really large fibroids removed. And that was life-changing for me. And I look back on it now and realize that's part of healing the patriarchy within, of like understanding in this embodiment the connection between my relationship to my body and the thoughts that I have and my experience in my body. I am not saying that chronic pain is illusory. Illusory, is that the word? Is an illusion? No. Chronic pain is real. Like, even if chronic pain is just in your mind, it's still real, right? Like, so I'm also not saying anything like don't, only do alternative meds. You make those decisions for yourself. I'm offering you some thoughts that I've been pondering with, and that spirit was like, share this for those that it might be helpful to. Even now, like, I was told that after I had the myomectomy that I may have to have fibroids removed again because they'll regrow. And when I started feeling them regrow was more recent, and I've already was consciously on this healing the patriarchy within journey. And so I've been in this world of like talking to my abdomen, to my wound, to my body, to the pain that is in there. And it's been amazing. You know, it's not like I don't have monthly pain, but it's definitely less than, and there's like this flow of communication. There's times where I just, will lay with my body during my blood moon, and talk to the blood flowing, talk to my ovaries and my fallopian tubes, and visualize breath coming into there, visualizing love, compassion, grace. And it has a similar effect to other things that I've done, other avenues of alleviating pain. There I would connect. Like, I think there's something to be said, like part of healing the patriarchy within is to remember love, for self. And there's something really amazing. Again, like, think about what I was saying, like having a positive ritual when you have your first blood moon is about creating definitions, beliefs, and behaviors that the female form, that the female body, is not a curse. It is a gift. So same thing with like being in relationship to the body and the creative self and what it is the self wants to create or say, so that it doesn't get trapped in my body and starts, creating these things that need to be removed or birthed. At least that's my experience in that. And then lastly, the crone phase. So I think I'm at the beginnings of the crone phase because I'm in perimenopause. I don't know how much I'm about to say right now would be helpful to women in menopause. So, I've dated women in menopause, so I have an understanding a little bit, but it's not personal experience. But I will say, in terms of thus far, I have connected my healing the patriarchy within efforts and my intentions when I have hot flashes. And it's a really interesting experience, particularly when I have hot flashes in the middle of the night. I've gotten messages that some of that is, it is a burning off. It is a burning off of the BS that the patriarchy has given us for most of our lives as, cis women, as folks assigned female at birth. It's really interesting, the difference of when I sit in that, in my thoughts, and in that like when I'm in the heat, the heat flash, and the like throes of a deep hot flash, and when I don't, because I have, I'm also, Sagittarian, I love exploring, so I'll play around with it where I won't do it, I won't think anything. Well, it's really hard. Like, if you have a real severe hot flashes, I do not think what WTF. But there's definitely a different experience of when I like actively engage it, and I'm like, what are you trying to show me? Or what am I burning off? Like, what is happening in my body that it is seeking to balance? It is seeking to create some sort of balance. And I think about it in terms of like, sometimes I connect the different things that are happening with my body now. I think about it in terms of like elemental magic, earth, air, water, fire, ether. There's all these different things happening in my body, and it's trying to balance itself out. And so I offer these things to folks, whether, this is something that is happening for you or someone you love. I started chatting along and just forgot to grab the different cards. Oh, I love it. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Okay, so thus far, I've pulled Dakini, the Enlightened Feminine. I pulled a card from the Divine Feminine, of course. And Dakini, my gut instinct is wise beyond reason. I trust my intuition to guide me. Use your discernment of like what's happening for you in your maiden mother crone phase. Use your intuition. Dakini is more of it's the Enlightened Feminine, right? It's more of an energy than an actual archetypal named person, like Pele or Yemaya or Hecate. It is about the larger context of the divine feminine and just really taking that in. I love how much red is in here, if we're talking about wombed women and that experience, or wombed persons and that experience. So that might be something to lean into. And the stone that came up was a red jasper. Red jasper is about nurture, care, protection, energy flow, life force. I think that it's just if you are thinking about this stuff and leaning into it, if you have a red jasper, it might be good to keep it around, put it in your pocket, wear it, talk to it, hold it when you meditate, hold it when you're thinking about this stuff. When I was talking about remembering back to what was your first moon blood experience like. If it brings up any feelings that maybe feel overwhelming, red jasper might be good to have in your hands. If you don't have a red jasper, you can call on the energy of red jasper as well. You don't necessarily have to have a crystal, an herb, an oil to call on the energy. Just know that if you do have it, awesome. The plant magic that showed up during this conversation is called thorn apple. Definitely not recommending ingesting thorn apple. It is poisonous. In this sense, I think the divinatory meaning for this, I would say, is if you are going to start thinking about your relationship to your body and your healing the patriarchy within journey, if that's an intention you're holding, to pay attention to your dreams or messages that are coming through deep meditation, because that's where in divinatory meaning, thorn apple wants to support. It wants to support you to receive a message that is awaiting for you, either from your dreams or from deep meditative states. And then lastly, I pulled from a deck that's quickly becoming one of my favorites. It's called the Psychic Reading Cards. And the card that came up was number 2, Angels. And it is the message that to remind you that you are surrounded by your angels and that any support you need is available to you. Speak to them, be in conversation with them, let them know what it is you're seeking. Again, I love that it's coming up here in this conversation because, one of the reasons I started this conversation out with saying, like, I'm not giving any medical advice. Physical advice. I think it's really important for you to discern what you're ready for, what you're not ready for, and whether you're not you need support. Because I think when we start digging into healing the patriarchy within, as it relates to this embodiment, to like the physical embodiment our spiritual selves in it is having, it can go deep and it can be overwhelming. Again, particularly if you are in a assigned female at birth body, because the current construct of patriarchy is grounded in the idea of silencing you, us. Many of their myths are about how cursed or dirty, unworthy our bodies are. Many of the actions are about defiling us, like doing all these things that are wild to the female body. Many of the ways in which we've been, like, I've heard so many stories about women who have no women friends. And it's not that anything has happened to them. It's just that they're like, I don't want to hang out with women because women are this, that, or other. They're catty, chatty, blah, 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 which could be true. But I know a few catty, chatty men, so I think that's more about a human than a gender. But all of that, and also a world that's deeply entrenched in misogyny and femicide. Also, if part of your healing the journey within is healing the witch wound or religion's rope, which I mentioned in previous videos, you might, it could bring up some really tough stuff. And so knowing that you have your angels, knowing that they and your higher self are not going to bring you anything that you're not quite ready for, or put you in a position where you don't have access for people to support you. That's not going to happen. And if you feel like it's happening, then reach out. Whether that's in the 5D world of your angels or 3D world of friends, family, therapists, hotlines, right? So I want to end on a positive note, like just to say that in my experience, I'm 51. I will be 52 in December. I 100% get it. And it has been this amazing journey to love this body, regardless of what the world is telling me. And then there's days still at 51 that I find it difficult. And I just remember that I'm on the healing journey. I remember the things that I'm learning, to talk to my body, to touch myself with care, with comfort, to remind myself that I am deserving of these things, and so are you, and that this is beautiful. you are beautiful, regardless of who is watching this and what body you are in. You are worthy, you are whole, and you are loved. Take care of yourselves out there.
This is Rooted Cosmic Soul, Season 2, Healing the Patriarchy-Within, a Broom Closet recording, offered with infinite love and gratitude. Thank you for watching, listening, co-creating the energy necessary for this time and space to exist. My energy stays here, your energy stays there. Return when your spirit moves you to do so. Same Bruja time, same Bruja channel. Hey there. If you liked this content, please check out my new book called Healing the Patriarchy-Within. It's a detailed process guide designed to help folks find, explore, understand the definitions, beliefs, and behaviors that are inside of us as individuals, because some of them are the same between us and some of them are different. But those definitions, beliefs, and behaviors that are complicit with, that uphold the patriarchy. And it's a process guide to help see, sense, and shift those with a lot of compassion, grace, and love. Having patriarchy within doesn't matter about your gender, your class, your race. It's in all of us because of the wide existence of the patriarchy globally and for multiple millennia. And this process guide offers 22 very specific interweaving intersectional journeys to explore that from your eye, sprinkled with 24 different sacred feminine goddesses, energies, guides to support you as you're healing the patriarchy within. And then more than 44 different individual prompts, portals, activations, activities to further deepen your understanding of where the eye is and how to engage in a healing process. So please check that out if you are so inclined. There's a link in the description, always in all my videos. And also you can go directly to my website, djbarber.com. Thanks again. Also consider subscribing, liking, sharing whenever you find content on my channel that you've enjoyed. It's a beautiful way to support creators of free content and to help build my channel and get me out of the hidden realms of YouTube, because my content is that which is not meant to be brought to light, but you can help be one of those who help shine light on it. So thank you so much. I appreciate you. Unfettered and infinite love and gratitude.